everyone, so I'm all packed up and ready for Worlds. It was quite an exhausting ordeal as my collection is more scatterbrained than I thought it was. I've been playing too much online recently and not enough in person. Anyway, I decided I would vlog some of the experience because, well, I used to do it. I used to enjoy it, of course. Kelfasil recently did a vlog from an event and gave me a shout out in his video, which of course is linked below, so I feel I should do it. And of course I didn't vlog Euros where my friend Mike won it, so maybe it bodes badly that I am going to be recording it. Who knows? Anyway, I have a flight at 5:55 in the morning. It is currently almost 8:30 and I feel that I should be asleep already. It's going to be a long day of travelling, but it should be great. I have that weird mix of nervousness and excitement. I'm bringing 7 decks, I think, 4 on runner, 3 on corp. Still a bit of indecision. I think I know what I want to play, but you know, there'll be the usual chatting to people over there and seeing stuff from the Icebreaker tournament or King of Servers, and you know, there's all that kind of weird stuff that might dictate how things change over time. So we'll see. Better to be prepared anyway and not need what I do bring. I of course have some miscellaneous cards as well because I won't be bringing the entire collection, but maybe some bits and pieces will prove useful. But yeah, kind of too late to change too much now. Very much locked in, and now I realise that I do need to sort out my collection because hopefully there'll be live events continuing and I will get to play in them. So best to have these cards easy to find and everything. So yeah, here we go. So after about 10 hours of travelling, I've finally arrived in Minnesota. It is a balmy 30 degrees, which in Ireland is the middle of summer and it's glorious, and in Minnesota it is quite cold because of their funny temperatures and all that. About 10 hours travelling, very stressful along the way. Got to the airport this morning and the KLM baggage drop area was very busy, so that took quite a while. Then there was an issue with my ESTA, so it looked like I might not get to America. I was allowed through the fast track for security thankfully, and then had to jog to my gate. At one point in the day I was wearing a belt and now I don't appear to be. Not any sexy shenanigans or anything like that, just I appear to have left it behind in the rush. Then got to Amsterdam, decided I'd have a pancake, treat myself, a bit of food in the morning, and almost missed my flight despite being maybe 50 feet away from the gate. So all sorts of issues there as well, but thankfully got on the flight, have arrived, no issues with security on this side. So now to wait for Mike to arrive, a couple of hours unfortunately. I did think security would take a little bit longer, it did not. So a little bit of wait, read the tourist guides, entertain myself somehow, try and get on free Wi-Fi, which is a struggle. And yeah, we'll meet Mike and work from there. Although we have arrived at the Radisson, and look who I found! It is a European champion. Possibly world champion. Oh god, no pressure or anything like that. So we are going to Fantasy Flight Centre. It is Tuesday evening. I don't know what time it is. What are we doing? Just playing cards?
Maybe. Yes.
I'm just kind of loitering with intent.
Yeah, getting the lay of the land.
So it should be interesting. I think, do we sign up for stuff today?
Oh, maybe.
Because there's that L5R Invitational or something tomorrow, the open thing.
Probably no harm.
So might be signing up for that to add to my currently 2 games that I've played so far. Time to win Worlds! So. Day 2 has started. It's bright and early and we're at the pool. It's actually a very cool setup. That was a basketball court, which makes it amazing. For some reason, after 10 hours of travelling and a 24-hour day, everything decided that, no pressure Mike, European champion from downtown. Oh no, now both are in the middle of the pool. So that'll be for later. But 2:30 in the morning, our bodies decided now is the time to start the day. Kind of drifting in and out of sleep since, dreaming of L5R, all these interrupts, cancelling my best made plans. But now it is time for breakfast, the best time of the day.
Rises.
I was going to tell you, yes.
Pretty simple, it should be relatively short. You excited today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Maybe F4. Today will mark my 10th game of F4.
Nice. What plan?
So, super early on day 2. It's 8:30 and we're in the FFG Centre already. Not supposed to go until 9 because Mike, our European champion over there, is about to do an interview with the FFG guys. Just so if he's on stream this time around, and hopefully he will be before the final table, that they'll have something to, you know, tell people who he is, how he approached the tournament, what he's playing, that kind of thing. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm just, you know, spectator, associate of European champion, as I seem to be best known. Oh, it is so cold. Heading down to the Radisson again because there is casual day of L5R, so I'm going to essentially double the number of games that I've played casually. And if you play 3 people, you get a promo card and also tickets for the prize wall, so might as well benefit both ways. It should be fun. Hopefully meet some nice people in the community. Who knows, this has been my first introduction to L5R people and all that, but we get to see what's going on. But also Rune Wars is taking place in the same area, and there's only 13 people signed up, so I might watch some of that and see how it all goes. So it should be an interesting day. Try and head back up for watching L5R competitively and see what's what, see how the lads are getting on. Both Mike and Owen are playing today. Ben and Oisin are playing in Rune Wars, and then just myself playing the casual stuff. So it should be interesting. It's so cold though, and it's about to start snowing it seems, which is kind of nice. So I played a couple of games of L5R just casually. Owen and Mike are doing well. Owen is 2-0 at the moment, Mike is 1-1, and they'll do the last round and then head for lunch. I decided to play a couple of games, then come up to see what was happening, have lunch myself, and now I'm somewhat trapped up here as opposed to down the Radisson. I don't know if you can see it, but it is snowing somewhat heavily and quite windy and everything as well. Standing aside for the moment just to record this, the lens I go to capture the good footage. But yeah, nice bit of snow, which is nicer when you're inside looking out. It was quite heavy a moment ago, so kind of trapped up here. We'll get the last game that I need to do to fill out the slip to get promo cards and that kind of thing. Now the wind is in my face as well. So yeah, finish off that slip, get the promo card, and that'll be my job done basically. So enjoying it so far. I haven't made horrendous mistakes. I don't think I'm gonna annoy anyone that I play on Friday. I might, but hopefully not through mistakes and that kind of thing. Unlikely to do well for me, but at least I tried it out. So we'll play another couple of games, see, try and spectate the lads, and take it easy today. I was thinking of going into the city. I may not now. I don't want to walk outside. So yeah, time to go back inside.
You definitely don't want to take that. I know, that's so... Alright. Well, to be fair, it would have been...
Good morning, it is day 2. It is time for King of Servers, which we're all very excited about. We have myself, Mike, and Oisin from Ireland, and then Asger, an honorary Irishman for the day. So it should be good. Mike was saying that a lot of people, or some people, have gone for 2 mini factions as runner, just so they don't have to play criminal. Our team is playing 2 criminals, which shows how seriously we're all taking it. But it should be a good day out. Good to meet the who's who of Netrunner, and have some drinks, buy some dice. It should be fun. Yesterday, that did very well. Mike went 2-4 in L5R and may hate the game forever. Owen ended up on stream and has qualified for day 2. and Ben made people regret playing Rune Wars, qualified for top 4, and today is trying to play both that, hopefully finish it out and win, and then also play Game of Thrones. So fingers crossed he can do both and do both well. So we're about to head out, and I will record more videos from there.
On Slack. All right. Boggfather, who art in Minnesota. Hallowed be thy game. Thy rotation come, thy bands be done by OP as it is on JNet. Give us this day our daily tasks and forgive us our blast zones, as we forgive those who scrape against us. And lead us not into Samurai Nation, but deliver us from oops. For thine is the design, the testing, and the tech, now and forever, GG. Apparently they're not checking who gets what. Yeah. And into round 6, we are on table 3. It's going to be the stream. So Asgar's going to be on stream, and we're all going to be very close. We're actually good running.
So because Asgar was on CI and Shaper, and that had been the matchup all day on stream, I ended up playing against Seamus instead. CTM versus a well-teched Valencia, and then poor Leela had to go against CTM. So it didn't go well in the end, but it was good fun and good to play him. Had a lot of fun and enjoyed the kind of banter and back and forth, and at some point I'll have to gear myself up to watch the stream back. Whew, so that was a long day, but a great day. Had a lot of fun at King of Servers. If you're coming to Worlds, I would definitely recommend it. The team tournament format's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of great people, play a lot of fun decks. So yeah, definitely a good day out. Performance-wise, it was mixed on my end. I did end up on stream unsuspectingly. Asgar had been tearing it up, our Nordics champion, our honorary Irishman for the day. He went 9-1 overall, so he was dragging us up table by table, kicking and screaming. And we ended up at table 3, so we were playing the Scottish players. And because CI and Shaper had been kind of the mirror match all day, they pointed to the next people who, for some reason, it was me and Seamus. Definitely Mike should have taken my place probably, but anyway. So we ended up being bumped up at the last minute. And my decks decided to fall apart there. CTM didn't quite get on top, unfortunately. Ran quite poor all day. And Leela was just broke throughout against CTM, so a very dangerous position to be in. But overall, it was splitting up until that point and then 2-0. So not too bad, but not a 9-1 as you're put in. We did, however, win the most important match of the day, which was the prize wheel game. Winner got 4 spins on the wheel for a variety of prizes. Losing team got 2 spins. So we got 1 prize each. I ended up getting a playmat. I got the one from the Worlds of Android book, which I don't have. Oshin got a playmat as well, so he's a billion of them. Azure got some tokens, which are worth 40 tokens or 40 tickets on the prize wall, which seems extortionate. And Mike got a really nice Chaos Theory one, so we're all pretty happy. Yeah, so a great day out. And got to meet a lot of great people, including some people who watch the channel, which is A, always kind of surreal, B, nice to hear, and yeah, it's just great bumping into people, getting to chat Netrunner. Did get to meet Andre from the Metropole Grid as well, which was a good catch up. We have talked about hopefully doing some sort of appearance on each other's channels, which would be super. Obviously time zones make things a little more tricky, but we should try and do it. We'll hopefully do it. But you know, we'll have to put that into action as opposed to just talking about it. So yes, if I did meet you, it was great to meet you. If I didn't, hopefully I'll meet you at some point. And now we turn our attention to the next couple of days. So it is the evening. We're going to take it nice and easy. Go over, get some food, congratulate Ben, our Rune Wars champion. Hopefully, I mean, as I record this, Owen is playing his final game to get into day 2 of Game of Thrones, so fingers crossed there. And yeah, take it easy for the evening. Psych myself up to play Legends of the Five Rings tomorrow competitively. I don't imagine that going too well, but yeah, a lot of things to think about from the Netrunner perspective. You know, you saw a lot of different decks going around. There was a lot of people splashing tech. Some bits and pieces that you have to consider. So yeah, tonight, tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of thinking, a lot of wishing that I brought more cards. But again, Andre did say that if I need cards, I can hit him up. He has his whole collection. Because buying data packs at the Fantasy Flight Centre has not seemed the craziest thing when you're thinking, I should bring this tech piece, I should bring this in. Because I brought some miscellaneous cards, but not enough. So yeah, some thinking required. But yeah, that's it for me tonight. I think we'll give you a quick update on Legends of the Five Rings, but it probably won't have too much to share. Basically that I'm getting 10 prize tokens, and I imagine that's where it'll top out. King Service, great, enjoy it, definitely recommend it, and had a lot of fun. Thanks to all those involved in setting it up, running it, doing the streams, all that kind of thing. At some point I'm going to have to torture myself with the stream to see the comments, to see the commentary. Maybe I won't, I really don't want to. Anyway, good night. So lunchtime on day 3. Good food. Currently 1-2 in Legends of the Five Rings. Better than expected. And about to watch Game of Thrones top 8 as Owen is on stream for the second time. So that should be fun. Ireland's doing very well at Worlds. So let's watch. So we've just wrapped up Legends of the Five Rings, and apparently I'm great at it. I got 2 proper wins outright, got 1 modified win, and then, conceded on time in the last game. My first time playing against Scorpion, which was a weird and wacky experience, and yeah, did the honourable thing by bowing out. So my opponent went on to day 2, and now we prepare for Netrunner. So Mike's been scouting all day at the Icebreaker tournament. And yeah, I'm going to be grilling him for any information that he's got. All this weird and wonderful tech that people are slotting. And then I have to write a deck list. Actually I have to decide what I'm going to play and then write a deck list. I'm going out for food and sleep.
Why am I the target here? How much did you drink, Ben? Nope.
Hello from day one of Netrunner, and this is the important one. This is the one that's making me a little bit nervous. If only I could go in like L5R, where didn't care, just didn't want to embarrass myself. Unfortunately, not embarrassing myself in Netrunner, there's a bit of a higher aspiration. So hopefully we can get on okay. Decklists are written up, just leaving cards at the moment. One thing I forgot to mention actually was King of Servers. We picked up these beautiful all-dark cards. So there was someone selling the I'm trying to turn it, maybe able to see the camera properly. So that's beautiful. And they also gave away an Omer and Max double-sided. So really, really cool. So it should be a good day. We're currently talking decks with Mike and Asger from the Nordics. I possibly featured him in the King Server stuff, not entirely sure. Should be an exciting day, should be interesting. Hopefully all goes well, and yeah, I'll keep you posted on how I get on, what went right, what went wrong, all that kind of stuff. But hopefully I'll be able to say I'm into day 2. That is kind of the goal. That would be fantastic, but there's a long road ahead first. So I left for quite a while to do this recap, so long in fact that I'm back home, which isn't ideal, but Netrunner wrapped up at like 11 PM. It was a really long night, really long day in fact. It was nice having the lie in the morning, but it did run quite late in the evening. So let's recap my tournament experience. The day did not start well. So myself, Asger and Mike were talking about, you know, what band restricted card to pick, or not restricted card really, because you can't take any band. And for all my testing I'd been playing with Film Critic, and on the day we were kind of humming and hawing, wondering about Clone Chip, whether it was better. You know, Infinite Tapeworms is obviously great, getting back any programs that you might have lost, being able to just pitch something and get it back later if necessary is always good. Film Critic, it has its uses. It's definitely good for Obligata protocols, Future Perfects, things like that. If you were worried about Punitive or Hunter Seeker, that was good. In the end, it did go with Clone Chip, and kind of joked that I knew that throughout the day I'd be going, oh, Film Critic would have been so much better. But first game almost made me regret everything, because playing against CI, so I thought, okay, you know, could be 4 different brands of it, fair enough, we're ready for this. And the first card they installed was Estelle Moon. I was like, I haven't seen this in a long time, what's going on here? They did their usual shenanigans. Then I ran HQ, first access I get is Lakashmi Smart Fabrics. If you're not familiar with the card, it says that, you know, you res it, and as you res cards, you put power counters on it. You can spend those counters to prevent an agenda from being stolen, matching the number of counters that you've spent. And straight away, I was thinking, you know, what turns this off? What piece of tech would be great here? Film Critic. Unfortunately, didn't have it. Now that matchup went terribly for me anyway. I don't think Film Critic or Clone Chip would have helped. Just got rushed out. And something I seem to have realised afterwards is maybe Tapeworm doesn't need to be banned or restricted or anything like that, because it only seems to be great when it's in other people's hands. Anytime I played it, my opponents were very poor, so I was getting maybe 1 credit a turn, which is nice, but it's not going to break the game or change the game in any meaningful way. Going into lunch, I was 0-4. Things did not go well. I did meet a lot of wonderful people that day, that morning. It was great to interact with people who watched the channel, but I had a lot of bad news for them as they were going, oh hey, how's it going? You know, how's the day going? Like, oh, 0-4. Yeah, maybe watch my videos to see how not to play Netrunner rather than to pick up any useful tips or useful decks or anything like that. So yeah, 0-4 at lunch. Wasn't feeling great, I have to say. Kind of wondering how to turn it around. Maybe I got some weird and wacky matchups that I wasn't expecting, but then, you know, had to try and turn my day around. So I did have one more game before lunch for me to try and bounce back and turn my day around and all that kind of thing, and managed to pull it off, but I'm still sweating. yeah, it caused me far more heartache than I would have liked, and could really have ruined the day going into lunch. Thankfully pulled it back, so 2-4 going into lunch, feeling a little bit better. Would have had to do an unbelievable sweep to make it to day 2. In an earlier clip I said hopefully I'll make it into day 2. What we found out that morning was that to get to day 2 you needed to be top 54, so that was going to be quite the task. I kind of hoped it would be a points level or a record or something like that, but no, top 54 it was. As you can possibly tell, spoiler alert, I didn't make it to day 2. After lunch my first game was against Potential Unleashed, always a dangerous deck, and with no feedback filter, I was in a rough shape for most of it. Yeah, that went very, very badly. The flip side, played against a Max, and I thought I was going to be able to be okay, but some clutch pulls and just well-timed runs really hurt. I was feeling okay for a while. They'd burned through a lot of their deck, had lost some of their important cards, but in the end just couldn't do it. Now after that I did manage to win 4 straight games. I think I played against 1 or 2 Titans, one of which I put myself in a really rough position from the start. Made a run early, got hard-hitting news almost immediately, managed to get out misdirection, clear 3 tags, had very little money, tried to pull myself back in. A couple of turns later got hard-hitting news again. There was an arc lockdown and paperclip, so I was using Dive to break through like an ice wall, all this kind of stuff. But in the end Maw did what Maw does and managed to pinch the winning agenda. I ran archives for the win. So yeah, a rough day, but managed to pull it back to 6-6, which is okay. My final standings is I think the bottom of 6-6 because of strength schedule. But things get a bit weird and wacky when you get into that kind of level anyway, because anyone on the bubble, there's a lot of people lifeboating. So if you've never heard that term before, if you have 2 people on a similar record and it looks like you need 2-0 to go through to the next round or the next stage, one person will concede the second game if they lose the first. It's not a practice that I'm hugely fond of, but it exists. You know, I feel that there could be a lot more 7-5s potentially going through if people just played out their games, because you know you're likely to take games off people when you're on a comparable level. But you know, them's the breaks. One big situation I find with it is if you're playing, we'll say, an unfavourable matchup first, you're likely to lose, and then obviously you've conceded the second game, which isn't ideal. Whereas if you had, you know, had luck of the draw or tossed the coin and gone the other way around, and you played your unbeatable CI deck, for example, you could have a whole different story, a whole different tournament experience. So, you know, that's just one take that I don't think is said that much, but yeah, we'll put it out there. So 6-6 in the end. The decks were a bit iffy. I found that Smoke was poor all day, economically wise rather than performance wise. Yeah, performance wise is a split, so you can't complain too much. Ag Infusion was also running quite economically poor. One of the big tools that I have in that deck, well, not quite my deck, but Owen and I have worked on a little bit, Owen more so, and I just kind of stole it from him, was having Eliza's Toy Box to be able to, you know, use 3 clicks and just res a piece of ice, hopefully get your big spiky beefy things on the outside resed, so you can just bounce people into them non-stop. But I didn't get to use it all that much. In the game that I did use it, it was quite great, it got me a lot of efficiency, but in a lot of games it was more of a, well, I know what's coming in indexing, I know what's in the next top 5 cards, because you usually get a look when someone managed to successfully index you and see it. It is one of the more unusual cards in the deck, so I knew what was coming. So Netrunner may not be the game for me, but Betrunner, on the other hand, if you've seen the emergencyshutdown.net fantasy draft, ended up coming 5th, which was fantastic. I had a couple of clutch picks. I wrote in my friend Owen's name into the $1 tier, and he ended up 40th or above. And then Asgard did really, really well into top 16, and picked Dan, who of course finished 3rd. You know, so I did pretty well. Can't complain too much about that. A frustrating morning, but happier as the day went on. 6-6 I'm okay with, I'm content somewhat. Would have liked to do better, but after a shaky start I will take the parity. But on the other hand, I did get to meet a lot of great people, quite a few people who watch the channel, which is, I think I've said it before, it's kind of surreal, but definitely appreciated, because, you know, I probably would do these videos regardless, but it's great when people actually watch it and appreciate it, and yeah, it's just great. If I was doing it all over again, obviously CI is the smart pick, but I don't know, Jinteki, Glacier, that kind of thing is definitely more my style. It's something that I've enjoyed for quite a while. I couldn't do the combo decks, but I do like what Wilfie was doing with kind of more of a standard thing, with a lot of interesting tools that caught people out and kept people under the cosh. I would probably still play Aggro Fusion again, but try and go for even more preparation, be a bit more confident in ice placement choices, things like that. Smoke, she worked really well in testing, and Jinteki.net I was doing really well with her, but just on the day things went a bit dicey. I mean, I've had those games against Mike and things like that where she didn't quite fire, and I've ended up poor economically and suffering as a result the whole way through the game, and unfortunately that ended up happening in the live game. You kind of hope you get them out of your system, like when you do a deck on Netrunner DB and you do the let's draw 5 and you see the worst hand possible, you think, okay, hopefully that's it done, it won't happen again. But unfortunately in the live game it ended up happening. I don't think I would have been good with Haley, like as it is, Shaper is definitely one of the weaker factions for me. Maybe Anarch would have been a good choice as well, because obviously Dan Darginio did really well with it. And it's a bit more of a standard, straightforward build than Shaper is at times, with its you know, shenanigans and clone chips and SMCs and all that kind of thing. But room to improve at least. Some lessons learned. Morning everyone, it is the morning after the night before, and myself and Mike are doing some tourism. So we're out in beautiful Minneapolis and we're going to see some of the world while we're here on the other side of the world. So it should be fun. Then we'll go back and watch some Netrunner Top 16 and try and get some L5R promos to sell, because apparently their players are absolutely mental and they are willing to pay big money for some unusual things. Mike has managed to sell off these little honor gold coins for $150, and someone has actually offered $100 for the ones that I got, so that's pretty nice. And then we sold a set of 3 cards for $75, so we're going to be living large for the next few days. Try and use the last of our promo tickets, and yeah, should be fun. So off to see some of Minneapolis and maybe do a little montage along the way. So Worlds has just wrapped up. That's very blurry. Worlds has just wrapped up, and an incredible top 16. Europe did really, really well. And who made the point? Was it Asger? Who said about Australia?
Actually, Wolfie.
Wolfie made the point that Australia are in the Eurovision, so we can claim them as our own. So Europe win all the games, all the time. But now we're going to Walmart. So if I don't survive, you know why. Anyway, so that is my Worlds experience. I hope you enjoyed the video. Quite a long video, I know, but thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your support over the year, at least, that I've been doing this now, the couple of hundred videos. And thank you for your contributions, your input, all that kind of thing. And hopefully we can just keep going with this, build the channel a bit more. If you have any things you'd like to see, any feedback you have, please let me know. Obviously I'm trying a couple of new things now with the face cam, hoping to do proper thumbnails, all that kind of thing. Make things a bit more eye-catching and a bit more interesting, hopefully. And yeah, nothing else to say. If you do get a chance to go to Worlds, I would heartily recommend it. King Servers is a blast. Scheduling can be a bit iffy at times because you could be really good at a couple of games and end up having to make tough decisions, as quite a few Netrunner players had to do. But yeah, would definitely recommend it. Minneapolis is quite lovely this time of year. Dress warmly, that's one thing I would say. Thank you for watching the video, hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again soon.